Here at the main stage of Green Tech, we're now going to be talking about unleashing innovation and how important it is to collaborate, talking as well about digitalization to some extent. And I'm very, very happy to have two gentlemen with me from Ridder, Sander Baraké and Boy Nijs. Greetings to you. Sander, first to you. Why do we need to collaborate to unleash innovation potential? Let's set the frame for our discussion.
Well, thank you, Andrew. I joined Ridder this year to lead the innovation and digitalization within Ridder, but not only within Ridder, also with Ridder and partners in the horticulture ecosystem. And in my personal opinion and my personal experience, collaborations is essential and it's a prerequisite for successful innovation. And I'd like to show this with an example that was in my previous role. So let's see a small video and I'll explain.
Okay.
What we see here is a drone, and it's always cool to show movies of drones, but this is not only a drone, it's a medical drone. And this medical drone is developed to transport and carry personalized medicine or even donor blood or donor organs to patients in time. Not only in rural areas, but also in the city centers. Because due to a lot of urbanization and road congestion, it's not possible actually to have these life-saving goods in time at the patient. But maybe a question to you, do you think this drone is already, the technology is ready for autonomous flying here in the city of Amsterdam, Andrew?
I would say that the technology itself, probably, I mean, we all know that drones work, but there are certain bad experiences connected with private drones at least being used, and I would assume that things like getting a license to fly, being able to use it in certain city centers, that is a hurdle, not from a technological perspective, but just to make sure that things are connected to the rest of the world and safe. Is that
you're exactly right. Okay. I mean,
and we didn't rehearse it.
The technology is.
You surprised me with that.
Yeah,
question.
well, the technology is ready to do it. And there's a lot of technology in there. I mean, it's talking about robotics, AI, IoT, it's all in there. But the key of this drone, and it's not even drone, it's a service, is that it's being in a collaboration between different partners from different expertises. So medical group like hospitals and pharmacists working together with logistical experts, aerospace experts, technology experts to really making this happen. And we are making this happen right now in the Netherlands, and it will be live. This service will be live in maybe in 1 year, so they're flying already, but not in the city center yet. But for me, it is an example of how bringing all these experts together and collaborating on innovation is really meaningful and a prerequisite to success. And for me, this easily translates to the journey we are working on in the horticulture ecosystem as well now.
Oh boy, we've heard quite a lot here in the studio that really the technology is not the big issue, that all the technologies are there which we would really need. It's really, like Sander has already said, getting people together, maybe even changing some attitudes and breaking down silos, which is important. How does this apply then to horticulture?
Yeah, indeed, there are. The hurdle is not the technology. Technology will definitely be not the issue. Indeed, there are other challenges to overcome, and I see a direct parallel comparison with the horticulture industry and, for example, the medical drone service. There are a lot of good developments taking place within our industry. During the Green Tech today and also yesterday, I saw many great new initiatives, many great new technologies. Very good to see that this industry is so alive and kicking and everybody's working on important pieces of the puzzle, just like the puzzle of the medical drone service. And it's now a matter of connecting and collaborating with each other within and to create one horticulture ecosystem. And
I've been seriously impressed actually. I'm from outside of the horticulture sector typically, and so I know there are other industries and how they collaborate. And we've seen numerous examples of companies sat at the same table, but also sat together in the triple helix, as we heard from the Netherlands thought leaders, together with researchers, the business element, and also the political and policy making element. So that is very encouraging to see. And perhaps that is what is unleashing some of these innovations as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's very important, of course. And we also see that companies need to speak to each other. But for us, it also started within our own company. How can we create maximum synergy between our various business units and with our various solutions? How can you tune them into each other as in an ecosystem? That's where it started. And from there on, we also started to look outside our own company walls, looking at our partners, looking at our clients, our customers, make them part of the process, develop together with them, outside in. And maybe it's nice to look at a video that maybe summarizes a little bit what's going on with the new strategy and vision of Ridder as a company.
Which is called Hortos.
Of course, it's a little bit summarized within Hortos. It's part of our strategy and vision. Well, let's have a look at the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. This story isn't about a seed or a plant. This story is about growth. It's about how we've learned to adapt to a changing world. A world that's new to us. It compels us to think and see things differently. These days we aren't just growers, but entrepreneurs. Or at least we're expected to act like them. And even though that sometimes might feel scary and unknown, we commit ourselves to change and transform challenges into opportunities. Not because we can, but because we need to. We have to feed our communities, scale up and protect our planet. Therefore, we need to take control, acquire the right knowledge, and grow our business. And you know what? We're all in this together. I know it's taken care of. Because I choose for an open, connected world, where we gain access to tomorrow's insights, and that prepares us for what's to come. One platform that allows us to stay ahead, yet never forgets where it all once started. Growth. How do we do this? How do we grow?
How do we grow?
Yeah, good.
So, it is a good question. You talked a lot about the internal transformation in the company. Could we just stick with that for 1 second? Because we heard as well from other speakers that is obviously not a trivial task. Obviously, it's got to be the first task, and getting there is not easy. What is your experience with that kind of internal transformation and getting Ridder ready to offer things externally?
Again, their technology is not the biggest hurdle to take. It's about also empowering your own people and to have make a shift in their vision and see opportunities. Don't see only the challenges, but see a lot of opportunities that lies within the synergy, within the various solutions that we offer to our customers. So that's where it all starts.
Okay, well, it's been quite a long process, I imagine, to get there.
It's an ongoing process, of course. It's not finished. It will never be finished, I think. It's an ongoing process. And it's always good to reflect sometimes, but it's also important to look ahead and keep doing what you're doing.
What is it you have to offer today to growers like we saw in the video?
Today, we would like to emphasize that we empower connectivity, not only with the solutions from Ridder, but that we empower connectivity within the entire industry.
So open innovation.
Open innovation. That will be we can do a lot of things ourselves to help our customers, but we more than ever realize that we cannot do everything ourselves. Collaboration is so important. The past 2 days, I've seen so many great new developments and a lot of good new initiatives by not only established companies, but also by new startups. And we really emphasize that, and we really are open to work together with these great new ideas.
Good. Yeah, we saw, particularly in the Innovation Awards, some very, very interesting concepts. And I think one of the startups that won had done so because they collaborated directly with someone else beyond their own company borders and came up with a wonderful solution. 1 + 1 was greater than 2 in that particular case.
Yeah, definitely.
That's also our motto. And also when you see how Hortos was developed, It's really started 1.5 years or maybe 2 years ago with the vision, but also with just interviewing our customers, like, what do you want? What do you need? And what do we think? And let's work together on it. So there the collaboration started. And then, of course, there was a long stretch of development, a lot of internal development. But the result of that is a platform that is open for the customer, for us, for collaboration with other parties on technology side, but also on advisory side. And that's what we are currently working on. So, like I always said, we launched, but the journey just started. And we are continuously working on this journey to collaborate with other great companies, like Boy mentioned. Yeah. And that's what we are doing at the moment.
What does the Hortus platform actually cover? What suite of services do you now provide? What can you buy from Ridder?
At the moment, we have focused on actionable insights. So not just data gathering and presenting the data as a bulk towards the end user, but it's really actionable insights towards both the grower and also the investor of a food company, basically what we see. So that's what we started with. So these are own developed together with our customers. And we have a platform with where the data is also available for other parties to use, so through an API. And we're currently working with third partners to have extra modules co-created with Ridder and with customers to bring a lot of new things we hope to uncover soon.
Good. I'm going to just to appeal or offer the opportunity to ask questions into the studio here. Type them into your browser, please, and we'll come to those in just a moment. In terms of that offering, what are the main benefits then that this transformation and Hortus as a platform can provide to growers? We saw the very complex world that a grower is living in, but is it simply a simplification?
Well, with Hortus, the grower, of course, is very important within the organization, but these days organizations also get larger and more diverse. In the past, you used to have a grower with just one greenhouse or maybe 2 greenhouses or 3 greenhouses in 2 different countries. These days, a grower has maybe 5 or 6 different greenhouses with 3 different crops in 2 different economies. And that greenhouse is not just owned by that grower, but the grower is maybe responsible for the cultivation, but there's also a head grower in the company. There's a CEO, there's an executive financial manager. So for all those different roles and responsibilities within that organization, we offer different kinds of solutions that really fit their information need and their role and responsibility. So that's what we offer today. But to answer your question from a grower perspective, for growers these days, we offer maximum insights and control within those larger organizations on multi-sites, multiple locations, multiple crops, and offer a really unique way to benchmark and compare, to plan strategies, plan ahead, and stay on track.
Do you have some examples from the industry that have started to use this platform, maybe anonymous, certain countries that you're working in, or where can we actually see this in action?
Well, we are, of course, the platform is being used by growers in 3 different continents at the moment. But to name an insight as an example, we, for example, have customers that dose CO2 in the greenhouse. Yeah. And dosing CO2 is a complex process. For a grower, he knows what to do. He knows how many CO2 his plants need. At least he thinks that he knows that. But sometimes a lot of that CO2 process takes place on gut feeling. With Hortus and with other solutions that are integrated within our control systems, we offer better insight what the financial, the bottom line financial performance of dosing CO2 in the greenhouse looks like. So it also becomes more interesting for other parts within the organization to negotiate on this process and to get better insight and control over that process.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay, let's come to Sander and just talk a little bit about the collaboration with customers and how that innovation process then works. We talked about open innovation, then we have a question to go to. How does that work? Customer innovation, collaboration?
Yeah.
You open up your books, and say this is where we are?
Open is a cumbersome word, of course, but what we mean with open is that you really work together because you bring expertise from different groups. I mean, I'm not an expert in horticulture. Our customers are really good experts, and we have a lot of expertise within our company. But like you said, the growers or the head financial or the investors, they have their expertise, like they're using it. So we use their expertise to come up with new values for them and working together. My own mantra with innovation is validation, validation, validation. Yep. We talk to them, we discuss with them, and when we develop things, we bring it in the first glance and also with beta tests to them to improve it. So it's really valuable and usable for them.
Well, we have a great question about Hortos and whether Hortos is just a visualization platform or does it also have analysis, integrated AI, machine learning elements in it? And that's from Philippe Chadek. Thank you, Philippe.
At the moment is bringing data into insights.
Yeah.
So that's our first step. But very soon and near the horizon, we will use AI. But like we said, we're not going to develop everything ourselves. We've seen companies here at GreenTech, but also a lot of startups in the scene who have far more knowledge, even outside of the horticulture ecosystem, that can bring those capabilities together with us. So that's also what we are currently developing together with these partners to bring all this technology. Like we said, the technology exists, but it's bringing the technology in a good manner and in a good process together with customers in the market. That's our value.
Good. And then I would like to ask the next question, which is, if I've already invested in a growing system and it's possible to use this type of technology to analyze the data that we are collecting currently, so can you retrofit the system into something which, to keep the heritage of what you've already invested?
Yeah, the platform is control agnostic.
Yeah.
So we can input other controls in there as well to really become a platform to have this analysis in there. Yes.
Okay. A question, perhaps, Boy, to you is, in terms of attracting new talent, how does this kind of solution compare to other sectors? And then we can ask Sander why he's moved to horticulture, maybe. But what do you think in terms of attracting talent and getting new people into the industry?
Well, for me, Ritter is a company that gives you a lot of opportunities to develop yourself and really provides room for your input and your ideas.
But not just Ritter, digitalization in general.
Of course, we live in an era that digitalization is very important, and there's a lot of young talent is active in this industry. But to bring it into horticulture, it adds a purpose to it. It's an important purpose, of course, the industry that we work in, and that's a big driver for me as well.
Understood.
So
from a personal point of view. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Sander, and your personal point of view, you came from telecommunications, I believe, into horticulture.
Yeah.
Was it too fast?
No.
Was it too fast paced for you in telecommunications? You wanted an easy place to work?
What I was doing within telecommunication is using digital services in a lot of industries.
Yeah.
So we looked at a lot of industries, how we could use digitalization. And now I think I even went a step further, like really implementing it in an ecosystem.
So it's getting closer to that market and then using that.
And to be honest, I didn't know that much about the whole horticulture ecosystem, but being involved for about half a year and seeing what's happening and what is about to happen is, for me as an innovator, that's exciting.
Well, there's been a tremendous amount of energy, not only in this room, but also with the audience at home, and some great questions coming in, which I, as well as an outsider, can only underline how interesting that is. All right, what does the future hold? That's our very final discussion. Where do you see the next steps moving forward? Do you want to start with that, Boy, and then we'll come to Sander?
I think the future looks very promising. It's an exciting time. For example, these 2 days already provide so many great new insights and great new outlooks for the future already. So the future, I think, it can go anywhere. We just need to come together, collaborate, and unravel the real potential for everything we are doing today to make the future, I'm just very exciting.
Yeah, I can see. I can see. That's really good to feel that enthusiasm.
At just these 2 days, what kind of great new developments are taking place? Yeah, what else can you be, right?
Let's just talk about Hortus briefly. What are sort of the next development steps from your perspective, Sander?
So what we've done now, we've launched our platform with our first, our own modules, our own developed modules. As we speak, we are working very hard to integrate the first external partners with their solutions on it. But I think the most important part is we are engaging with customers all over the world to implement it, because that will give us a lot of learning again. And in this digital world, it's iterating all the time. So we are developing new things, but also optimizing new things, and really implementing it with customers and doing it together. That's our greatest joy, I think.
Excellent. Thank you. With those words, we'll conclude this session. Open innovation through collaboration. Sander, Boy, thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.